Let's fucking go. Come on, YouTube. Let's go. Let's get her going. Come on. You can do it, buddy. Oh, darn stream. There it is. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. We'll wait a second before I start shading. Just very on a whim. Need to stream more, so. Hello, hello, hello. How have I been? I've been okay. Had a very stressful past 2 weeks, but we're riding the low of that now where I've just been much more lethargic. Yeah, I'm just gonna stream a commission. I wish I would have had this idea like 30 minutes ago when I was actually coloring this to stream it, but only just now did it kind of occur to me that maybe I should. I haven't streamed in a little while, I don't want to say a little while, but like a little bit, and so I felt like it would be nice to try and get back in it with something a little easier, especially because I have some December art that I would like to stream at some point, and I want to get more in the groove with that again. But yeah, so if anyone would like to watch me shade, welcome. Or I just do some shading. And also, as I realized just now that this character has a fucking cape that I didn't color, like a genius. Okay, that's fine. We're just gonna cheat and not give it line work. But yeah, as always with my streams, welcome, and you're free to ask me dumb questions either about art or not related to art, whatever you prefer, and we're just here to have a good time. And if anyone's wondering, this character was commissioned to me by a patron of mine on DeviantArt. I cannot pronounce their name to save the life of me. I just call them Sorry. I think it's like Sorixion? I'm not quite sure. But I just call them Sorry because I could not for the life of me pronounce their name if I was asked to. And I feel bad, but that is what it is. Oh no, but that's not going to work very well with the colors. Oh, well, we're going to live with it. We're going to work with it. It's fine. It's fine. Art is all about cheating. Just a little bit. I got to figure out what kind of shade and color. I almost feel like purple would be more interesting than red, because they do have like a lot of red going on, so purple's probably a little better for this. For shading wise, how do I want to shade this one? Kind of want to give him like evil dramatic lighting, but I'm not sure. But this is also one of those characters where I really need to do that thing where I do this so I can actually see better about where I'm putting my shadows, because he's got very dark colors. Yeah. I guess we'll do this like, what kind of lighting do I want? Do I want like underlighting? Do I want like dramatic side lighting? Do I want like that shit that I like to do? I don't know. We'll go with like an underlighting, I think. When you do a commission, does the customer pay you first or do you send the art first? I'm doing commissions and this is my first time doing it. I always require payment first, or at least half of it first, and then half of it after I send some kind of sketch to them. just because it's so easy for people to just scam you and just never send you the money after you do the art. And sometimes it is a little easier to like, generally for me, I would rather lose on, like, if I paid money, commission an artist, I would kind of rather prefer the like, I would rather lose like $30 because someone just never responded to me and ghosted me on an art piece than like me put in all of the fucking work into an art piece and then have the person just never send me the money. So I have a, because when that happens, you can't like post the art because then the person gets the artwork for free. You can only share it within your tiny circles. It's not going to be like your characters or your anything you like. It's going to be their artwork that they wanted. So you really lose a lot of time and energy on that kind of thing. Always sucks when an artist like scams you, which is why I do think that like if somebody, for example, doesn't have like, it's usually why I try to commission artists who have done a lot of commissions in the past and stuff like that and have like a large online portfolio of commissions, just because for me, it just makes me slightly more comfortable when that's the case. But if you ever like want to commission somebody who doesn't have a large like portfolio of commission work, or if you are a starting artist who has not had the chance to have a lot of artwork and you want to make sure people like don't feel nervous about giving you money, payment like half up first is always very, very good, because it means that you at least get something. And like how I typically try to do it, I usually try to like, I try to do it when I do payment up first. I try to do it half up front, as opposed, or I do half up front and then half after I give them a sketch, because that way, like, you know, they basically are at that point paying for the sketch, and then they get the sketch and they know I've at least started it. So that's usually like more comfortable for them to give me the last half. And it just means that like I get paid for that, the rest of that work. So that's my advice on it. As an artist, it's so easy for people to just not send you money. And it's also very easy for people to just like claim they have money to pay you with and then they don't. So, you know, that does happen. So I would just recommend, from an artistic standpoint, like, it's much better to ask for, and plus that's how professionals do it. Professionals always ask for payment up front. So, but again, I also understand that like it can be a little nerve-wracking to give your money to somebody when you like they've never done commissions before and you have no idea whether or not you can trust them. So it's not always bad to at least offer to people to do half up front, half after, in some way. Never a bad thing to offer. It's just like a slightly more work to remember that, and like, you know, there's always the slimmest chance they might not give you that other half, but you at least get most of it, or at least some of it. I mean, that was very long. I apologize. Heyo, congrats on the reading going live tonight. You were so great. Well, thank you, Angelin. For anybody in the stream who doesn't know, I joined into a script reading with Alliance of Creatives. And we were reading a script for Over the Garden Wall. I got to read for Greg, which was really cool. We're doing part 2 tomorrow, I believe. And, but we posted they posted, I should say, the first part on their YouTube channel. So if anyone would like to go see some really cool people and myself reading Over the Garden Wall script, feel free to go check it out. It's very cool. It was very fun. I cannot wait for tomorrow, honestly. It's been very nice. I wanted to do so much more like theater stuff for so long. I did a lot of it in like high school and stuff, but afterwards I like, where I live, it's not exactly easy to find like theater troupes or whatever, and I also just, there's now a pandemic, so that makes it even extra hard. But But so it was very cool to be able to do kind of some theatrical stuff a little bit again. I got lucky by living in New York, but I'm glad virtual theater gives more access. Yeah, I mean, it's very cool. I've never seen like a virtual theater before, so I think that's kind of neat. Doop 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 doo. I don't do underlighting very often. This is difficult. The reason I'm doing commissions is because I'm saving for an art tablet because I'm tired of drawing on my phone. My fingers, I haven't gotten any customers yet. Yeah, unfortunately, it will take time. Just never feel free to advertise them on your own pages or anywhere where people allow for people to advertise their commissions. Um, never be that asshole who goes onto like somebody else's commissions or on somebody else's work and advertises. Never be that dude. But always just boost them, and eventually somebody will be interested. It just takes some time, unfortunately, especially if you've never done them before. Do, 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 do. I am mentally so tired. Comment section and advertise their channel. Yeah, I've had it happen before on like some of my own pictures and stuff. I've had people who go like, "Hey, maybe check out my commissions," and I'm just like, I was not looking, and this is my artwork. It's just not. It's just a very rude thing to do. It's different if somebody creates something where they say like, you come advertise your work, because people do that. Twitter, I know, like for example, has a there's a lot of like art shares and things on Twitter. So there's like places you can do it that are absolutely like fine, but I don't know why people feel the need to do it on other people's work. It's a little rude, just a little bit. I also apologize for the silence. I don't have really much to talk about. A lot of the stuff on my mind is not exactly stuff I would like to discuss with a public audience. But if anyone has any questions, please do ask. I'm happy to get into a ramble. But whatever it might be. My voice is nice though, well, thank you. What is an art trade? Art trade is when two people draw things for each other. Like they mutually like exchange characters and stuff like that and draw basically like gifts for each other. And it's considered a trade because, you know, one person draws something for someone else and they draw them something in return. Um, yeah. I haven't done an art trade in a while. I feel bad. I'm not always the greatest because I have a bad habit that I often wait for uh my habit typically with art trades is that if somebody else asks me for an art trade, I wait for them to do their part first before I ever do anything. Because, I mean, usually I try to do it the other way around. If I asked for the art trade first, I try to get mine done first before they do theirs. But that's just because there's been like, oftentimes I notice that if people ask you for an art trade, I'd just rather them see do their part first because they asked me, uh, as opposed to me asking them. Not in a bad way. It's just I've had a lot of art trades that like I've drawn a part for somebody and they like never draw me stuff in return, and then I'm like, it's a little disappointing. So I don't care as much if there's somebody where I ask them, but because I probably would have drawn them art anyway, but. It's the other way around. I get a little bit disappointed. Plus, I get paranoid because I'm like, oh no, did they just want free artwork out of me? Oh no. Which is not, it's normally not the case, but I get paranoid. My like brief 5 seconds of fame a long time ago made me paranoid about shit like that. My pronouns are he, him. Ha, well, thank you. This almost looks 3D. That's the goal. Ain't that the secret? How does this look? Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm gonna start on the lighting. Oh no. The light, not the lighting. It's the wrong layer setting. Hello, hello. Hello, people joining in a little later. Very short stream. I had a feel, I mean, I don't shade. My shading doesn't usually take that long, so I was pretty ready for this to be a short stream. Also, I apologize for anyone's eyes who might be hurt with all this red. You know, the irony, it's actually kind of funny because I used to have that problem about like the line art accidentally being on the sketch layer. I used to have that a lot when I was younger, but nowadays I haven't had that problem I think in years. Or I've never had to like it's never at least like been enough to where it's like seriously affected my like my workflow or anything like that. And I think it's honestly because I started doing line art the way I do it because I started doing it where it's like on a separate layer and it's on multiply and it's got a color and whatnot. And I think the reason why is because when I do that, because I'm so used to with how it looks like when you put on multiply, it's like when I start doing the line art, I notice like right away that something's up and like that something is that the layers are incorrect or something like that. So I think that's the only reason why, but that's actually, it's kind of funny in retrospect. Ooh, yeah, that looks kind of cool. That looks just a little cool. Trying to make it cool. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it cool for the commissioner. little bit of bounce lighting, just a tiny bit. If anyone else has any more questions, feel free to ask. Always feel free to ask. Always open for questions. By the way, if I have any mutuals watching, I have in December I'm gonna be doing like gifts for friends and mutuals and stuff. So if I have any mutuals watching, feel free to check out DeviantArt or Twitter. I have posts about it. And when I say mutuals, I mean mutuals, as in people who I mutually follow, who follow me and I follow them. I've had some people on DeviantArt who don't. I thought more people on DeviantArt knew what the word mutual meant in terms of art and stuff, but it's fine. But it's I've been waiting for more people. I don't know how many I'm going to do, but I'm going to try and do as many as I can. Oh, thank you, Mooney. This one's got like a lot of fucking red. Just a lot of red. And that includes Mooney, Mooney. I'm fairly certain I followed you on DA, but I might have forgotten to, but you'd count. In spirit, we're mutuals. So if you want gift art, feel free to send me something, Mooney. Favorite color, black. I kind of like all colors, honestly. I'm not super... I think all colors look good depending on what they're with and what context. But I do like yellow quite a lot. Yellow is a very nice color. Yellow and gold, I should say. It looks pretty cool, I think. Personally, I think it looks a little neat. Just a teensy weensy bit. Ooh, I could do something cooler. I don't really want to... Might have to do the box. The brush is not working with me right now. I don't know if I like that so much. But the purple could look cool, but I don't really like it. Let's try something more like this, maybe. But with texture. Can't forget the texture I love so much. You strum and everything. Well, it was gonna be a short stream, Michelle. Let me have my tiny ass stream where I just shade for like 30 minutes or something. Plus, it was on a whim. You know me and my whims. My whims are too powerful. I don't control the whims. The whims control me. What do you want me to do about it? Can't help the whims. Doing your rolls right now, how dare you? Nah, it's fine. I'm gonna do them in a minute. Gosh, I think one of the craziest things is like, I didn't used to think I rendered that much. But then I at one point I did something where I went back to an old piece or something and I turned my my shading and rendering layers off and I was like, holy shit. Like, actually, I'll show you guys right now because I'm pretty much done with this, I think. If you were to take all of my rendering layers, all of them, put them in a layer together, and just turn them off, it's like fucking night and day. And I was like, I never used to think I was like a crazy renderer, but then I was like, oh my god, I am. All I do is render. Which is probably why I'm so hurt when people do like, I shouldn't say hurt, that's an exaggeration. Which is why I wish more when people did me for style challenges on the rare occasion that they do, I wish they would try my rendering because I want to see how people interpret my rendering. Because so many people when they do goes from spoopy to menacing with rendering alone, I know. I love rendering. But because I mean, and I should say this. The people who include me in style challenges are super, super sweet, and I'm very flattered to being considered. I love being able to see how what like people notice about my style, but it makes me so sad that people always, when I'm included in those, people always do my flat shaded art, my flat colored art, as opposed to like full rendering, like, and they'll do it with in grouped with people who do full rendering stuff, and it makes me sad because I'm like, but I do so much rendering and I love rendering stuff, and so it's like people do this and I'm like, but I want to see someone just try. I mean, I know it's like asking more work, and again, I'm not mad about it, I'm not like upset about it, it's just purely something I notice, and I would love to see it. Like I would love, just because I'd be very curious to see how people interpret that, or how they would try to go about that. So again, very flattered, so nobody take this the wrong way, please. But I just like, it makes me so sad when I'm like, well, everyone else has shading. Why is mine flat colored? Do people think I only do flat colored art? And then I get sad. um, Especially because a lot of my flat colored work isn't even is usually for references and for commissions. I don't normally do, typically when I'm doing just personal art, I usually just go ham, and I render everything because I usually like how it looks. So, and a lot of times when I do flat colored work for myself nowadays, it's usually in sketches as opposed to line art. Um, but yeah, that's not like a complaint or anything. Again, I'm super flattered, uh, like that people even include me in those style challenges. I think it's so fun, and I wish I could actually do those style challenges, but I feel like I always get distracted when I try. Um, but yeah, that's something. So if anybody ever wants to someday, I challenge you to try and like, and this is, I should say, this is also one of my more heavily rendered pieces. There's actually a lot of commissions I do that are far less rendered, that are like usually like, here's some shadows, here's some highlights, and then I'm done. That's what a lot of my commissions do. To be honest, big reason why I'm putting this much effort into a shaded commission too is because the person who commissioned this to me, sorry, they've been a patron, and I love them to death, and they always give me like such fun characters that I love, because I love interpreting their characters and things like that. And I feel like I've never given them a product that they've been like upset with, so I love them to death. So I wanted to give them something cool. So yeah. I will say the one thing is, what is this armor, sorry? Like, listen, I love you, but also I could not for the life of me figure out how this breastplate worked. Because even in the reference, I was just like, how did that work? What are those little things on the side? What are those? But that's besides the point. But yeah, so I wanted to give them something fun and cool, especially because they commissioned this around Halloween. Not that I'm getting it done at the end of November or anything, but you know, yeah, it's wild. It's fun. I think it turned out pretty cool, pretty badass. The reds were very strong at first, but I think I made them in a way they're a little more pleasing to the eye, just a little bit, not so much burn your retinas. I don't even know if you can even tell on the YouTube. I think YouTube makes the color slightly more desaturated. On my screen, they're bright as fuck. Just so you know. I don't even think it's my brightness. I think it's just my iPad. But yeah, so I think we'll end the stream here, I think. Thank you all for coming to my very, very short stream. How long was this? I don't even think this was like... It's probably like 30 minutes. Show me, YouTube. Show me how long it is. Blah, won't tell me the secret. But yeah, so I think I'll end it here, but this is just me trying to get back into the groove of streaming after like 2 weeks of not doing it. So I will hopefully be streaming more commissions and things later on. I got a few more I need to finish and all that kind of stuff, and possibly some other art that I need to probably stream a little bit. So I need to just do it more. So yeah, thank you all for coming, and I hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bring me questions next time. Make me